Hi again, this is Andy, K4GKP, and welcome back to the Ham Whisperer and Lesson 25 in the General Class Operator Element 3 exam. In this lesson we go over the G6C questions. The G6C questions cover analog and digital integrated circuits, microprocessors, memory, I/O devices, microwave ICs, MMICs, and display devices. Which of the following is most often provided as an analog integrated circuit? The answer on the exam is linear voltage regulator. And I'm not a big fan of this question. When the question uses the phrase most often, it usually is a best answer type of question. Um, the other possible answers are a bit obscure, and nothing really stands out as being um, digital or analog or whatever. So my recommendation is just to memorize this question. The linear voltage regulator is most often provided as an analog integrated circuit. Which of the following is the most commonly used digital logic family of integrated circuits? The answer is the CMOS. And the key phrase in this question is most commonly used. So you're looking for another best answer of the possible answers. Now, CMOS stands for complementary metal oxide semiconductor, and this is another one you might want to just make a note card and memorize. Which of the following is an advantage of CMOS logic integrated circuits compared to TTL logic circuits? The answer is the advantage is low power consumption for the CMOS logic integrated circuits. For this question, TTL stands for transistor to transistor logic. And you need to know that integrated circuits are small and they don't handle a lot of power. And because of the way they're constructed, CMOS integrated circuits use very little power compared to transistor logic circuits. So, yeah, this is another one you should probably go over a few times or memorize for the exam. Not a lot of obvious answers come out with these integrated circuit questions. What is meant by the term ROM or ROM? Well, ROM stands for read-only memory, and if you have an experience with computers, this should come across as fairly obvious. So, like boot information on computers are often stored in read-only memory, and just like the name suggests, ROM is read-only, and the information on ROM cannot be changed. So that's why critical boot information on a computer, etc., is contained on read-only memory. So ROM stands for read-only memory. What is meant when memory is characterized as non-volatile? Well, what it means is the stored information is maintained even if power is removed. So volatile memory empties when the power shuts off. So if you have information stored on a chip or whatever and you turn the power off, that information is erased. Non-volatile memory is even if the power is turned off for that chip or whatever storage device you're using to maintain that information, if the power is cut off, that information will remain. So non-volatile information is information that is maintained even if the power is removed. What type of integrated circuit is an operational amplifier? And for this one, it's going to be analog. And operational amplifiers or op amps are analog integrated circuits. And unfortunately, like I said before, there's not too many the possible answers, nothing standing out as obvious or obviously wrong. So this is another one you should probably sit back and memorize. What is one disadvantage of an incandescent indicator compared to an LED? Well, the disadvantage is the incandescent indicator has a high power consumption when compared to an LED. Now, you got to remember that a light emitting diode, one of the biggest advantages of them is they use really low, they have a really low power draw, so they use almost no power at all. So if you're comparing an LED to an incandescent light or an incandescent indicator, the incandescent indicator is going to use significantly more power. So if you can remember that an LED, their biggest advantage is they use very, very little power. Anything compared to that is probably going to use a lot more power. How is an LED biased when emitting light? Well, an LED is forward biased when emitting light, and this is a simple question but you got to kind of break it down a little bit. Now, one of the things you cannot forget is that an LED or light emitting diode is a diode. So diodes only allow current to flow in one direction. when current flows through a diode, it is conducting in its conducting direction. It is considered forward biased. So if the LED is emitting light, then current has to be flowing through it. Therefore, the LED is forward biased. Which of the following is a characteristic of a liquid crystal display? Well, one of the characteristics is it requires ambient or backlighting. So an LCD is basically a translucent screen that's filled with these liquid crystals. And when power is or voltage is applied to these crystals, they basically contort and configure themselves so they block light. And in order to see them, you need to have, they don't produce light at all, so you need to have some sort of backlighting to actually see where the pixels are blocking light or letting light through. So since they don't produce light, you need to have that back screen or that backlighting or ambient light to pass through the LCD screen. What is meant by the term MMIC? Well, the MMIC stands for Monolithic Microwave Integrated Circuit, and this is another one you should probably memorize. And as far as integrated circuits go, this is one, as far as radio is concerned, this is one of the bigger, more often used type of integrated circuits. It's pretty much just a little radio on a microchip, so it's a pretty handy circuit, integrated circuit to have when you're working with radio. But MMIC stands for Monolithic Microwave Integrated Circuit, and I would recommend memorizing this question. What is a microprocessor? Well, a microprocessor is a miniature computer on a single integrated circuit chip. And to get this answer will jump out at you if you can remember to associate microprocessor and computer, because on the correct answer is the only one with computer in it. So a microprocessor is a miniature computer on a single integrated circuit chip. What two devices in an amateur radio station might be connected using a USB interface? Well, this is a computer and a transceiver, and this question is a little bit dated. Now, USB ports are what you are found in all sorts of computers nowadays, and it's what you plug your mouse into, you plug your iPod into, all that other stuff, and they're on the side of the computer. Now, the point of this question is that you need to associate USB ports and computers. But since advances have come along, that you can also find USB ports on a bunch of other stuff, including transceivers. So this one you just got to kind of remember that go old school. Something that you would use a USB interface for is between a transceiver and a computer. And we're done with the G6C review, and it's time for the quiz. So take out a piece of paper and a pencil, number 1 through 12. When you're done with the exam, you can check your answers at hamwhisperer.com under the exam answers page. Just look for the G6C section. And I'm going to go through the questions fairly quickly, so if you need more time, just pause the video and take all the time you need. And with that out of the way, let's get started on the quiz. Question 1. Which of the following is most often provided as an analog integrated circuit? A. NAND gate. B. Gallium arsenide UHF receiver, front-end amplifier. C. Frequency counter. Or D. Linear voltage regulator. Question 2. Which of the following is the most commonly used digital logic family of integrated circuits? A. RTL. B. TTL. C. CMOS. Or D. PMOS. Question 3. Which of the following is an advantage of CMOS logic integrated circuits compared to TTL logic circuits? A. Low power consumption. B. High power handling capability. C. Better suited for RF amplification. Or D. Better suited for power supply regulation. Question 4. What is meant by the term ROM? A. Resistor operated memory. B. Read-only memory. C. Random operational memory. Or D. Resistant to overload memory. Question 5. What is meant when memory is characterized as non-volatile? A. It is resistant to radiation damage. B. It is resistant to high temperatures. C. The stored information is maintained even if power is removed. Or D. The stored information cannot be changed once written. Question 6. Which type of integrated circuit is an operational amplifier? A. Digital. B. MMIC. C. Programmable. Or D. Analog. Question 7. What is one disadvantage of an incandescent indicator compared to an LED? A. Low power consumption. B. High speed. C. Long life. Or D. High power consumption. Question 8. How is an LED biased when emitting light? A. Beyond cutoff. B. At the Zener voltage. C. Reversed bias. Or D. Forward biased. Question 9. Which of the following is a characteristic of a liquid crystal display? A. It requires ambient or backlighting. B. It offers a wide dynamic range. C. It has a wide viewing angle. Or D. All of these choices are correct. Question 10. What is meant by the term MMIC? A. Multi-megabyte integrated circuit. B. Monolithic microwave integrated circuit. C. Military specification manufactured integrated circuit. Or D. Mode modulated integrated circuit. What is a microprocessor? A. A low-powered analog signal processor used as a microwave detector. B. A miniature computer on a single integrated circuit chip. C. A microwave detector, amplifier, and local oscillator on a chip. Or D. A low-voltage amplifier used in a microwave transmitter modulator stage. And question 12. What two devices in an amateur radio station might be connected using a USB interface? A. Computer and transceiver. B. Microphone and transceiver. C. Amplifier and antenna. Or D. Power supply and amplifier.